Hello. I know I don't have to, but I will try and explain why I am concerned whether William Lane Craig's view is self-conflicting or has inconsistencies. He presents his view to big audiences, and because he has mastered the skill of convincingly sounding speech and other skills that you need to be a good debater, he can influence his audience. And in elections, those people vote and elect people that may have religious views. So in this way, William Lane Craig and the likes of him can influence my life. Why can he influence my life? By influencing people who then vote in elections. His view starts with trying to prove the existence of God, but it doesn't stop there. It includes the doctrine of divine commandment morality.
The framework for my ethical theory is what's called divine command morality. Now, what is that? Well, that is an ethical theory which says that our moral duties are constituted by God's commands. It is God's commandments to us that give us right and wrong, that determine what we should and should not do. And therefore, if God issues you a command to do something, that becomes your moral duty. And it would be wrong for you not to do it.
If you kill somebody, it is murder. But if God has commanded you to kill somebody, it is not murder, because it's divine command. What is objective about this? God commands you. Okay, he explains that if it is God's command, it is not murder or it is not evil, but because God is good. But how do you know that God is good? Then you have to have a standard outside God of what is good and bad, so that you can judge if God is good or not.
And living in this land at that time are certain clans or small nations or tribal groups that are collectively called the Canaanites. There were probably about 7 of these different clans. He allows his own people, Israel, to languish in slavery in Egypt until the iniquity of the Canaanites becomes so intolerable, so irrevocable, that now they are ripe for judgment.
What all the tribes and nations in Canaan were evil. What if somebody in a powerful position now decides that all the nations in a certain region in the world are evil and sends soldiers to kill everybody there, including children? But the most chilling remark by Craig, which sends shivers down my spine, is the following. He is sorry about the Israeli soldiers who had to do the killing on God's command. Because it reminds me, and it should remind you, of the same remark made by a very powerful figure in the Third Reich, that is Himmler, who was very sorry about the German soldiers who had to do the mass killings, and he was concerned that they will be traumatized psychologically by killing personally thousands of people, which led to the gas vans and finally to the gas chambers in the concentration camps.
The problem isn't that God took the lives of the Canaanites. That's not really a difficulty. The difficulty, rather, is that he commanded the Israeli soldiers to take the lives of these Canaanites. That is, I think, the essence of the problem.
At the rear of the Eastern Front, Jews, communists, resistance fighters were shot. Having once forced himself to watch a shooting, Himmler was concerned about his killer's nerves.
That's good enough reason to scrutinize William Lane Craig's view for inconsistencies, isn't it?
this is a singular event in the Old Testament. This is not the normal way in which the God of the Old Testament operates. The God of the Old Testament is not some sort of moral monster who goes about commanding people to kill women and children. It's the very singularity of these narratives that makes them stand out.
So I think that's a good enough reason to scrutinize William Lane Craig's views.
Take the lives of the children to prevent this. Now, notice that in doing so, God doesn't do anything wrong to those children. In fact, if you believe in the salvation of infants, as I do, the destruction of these children was in fact their salvation. It means that they went to heaven and went to be with God.
That's good enough reason for scrutinizing William Lane Craig's view, isn't it?